Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for the first video that I did, I think it was my first video, I said if you guys wanted to see a complexion routine, then give the video a thumbs up, and I got quite a few. So I decided for this video I'm going to be doing my complexion. I didn't do the eyes, I just did the complexion, but if you guys want to see how I did the eyes, then just give this video a thumbs up. I think it is so pretty. This is my first time doing a glitter eye cut crease, like half cut crease. Usually I do a full on, but I love it. I feel like it would be a really pretty Valentine's Day look. Yeah, I think so. Well, extra glam Valentine's Day look, but you know, who doesn't want to be extra on that day? Am I right? So if you guys want to see how I did my complexion, then just keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so I already did my eyes. This is the eye look that I did. If you want to see how I did this eye look, then just give this video a thumbs up. So I'm going to do a complexion routine with you guys. So first up is going to be using my Mercier Blemish primer. I really like using this primer because it's a good base for any of the foundations that you put on. So for me, I'm acne prone, so this one really targets my skin type. I'm oily to combination, so I'm just applying this all over. It's really important to use a primer. The reason why it's because it's going to be a barrier and it's going to protect your skin of any of the makeup products that you use to make sure that it doesn't penetrate into your skin. So just like that. And then after, I'm going to go in with Makeup Forever Waterblend foundation. This is one of my holy grail foundations. I like to use it as a primer, sometimes as a foundation. Today I'm just going to use it as a hydrating primer. So I'm just going to put 2 layers of this on my skin. It's made out of 80% water, so it's super thin and lightweight. It has B5 in it, which is going to be really hydrating, and it's going to be plumping as well. The reason why I like using this for my skin is because I have acne texture on my cheeks, and this really helps to plump that texture out so it looks really smooth when I put my foundation on. So you always want to shake it up before you use it. So I like to apply it on my finger first, and then I just like to smear it around with my finger, usually on the areas that I want the area to plump, which is going to be my cheeks. And just circling motions, applying that on everywhere. You don't have to be perfect because we're going to be blending. And then on my forehead, and then a little bit on my nose. It feels super cooling and refreshing. That's one of the things that I like about it. And with it being cooling and refreshing, it's going to help calm down like any redness on the skin. So I'm going to use my Morphe E31 brush, and I'm just going to stipple it right into my skin. So since I have texture and I am acne prone, stippling motions are the best for me rather than buffing, because if I buff, I'm not going to get the coverage that I want. Also, it's going to aggravate my skin and make it a lot more red. So we're definitely not wanting to do that. If anything, we're wanting to decrease the redness. So stippling motions is my best friend. And then definitely blend down past the neck. We don't want it to look like we have a mask on. And then I like to slowly brush it up against my brows. And then just push it right back into my hairline on my forehead. I blend it until I can't feel like any type of liquid on my skin. Alright, so this is what one layer looks like right now. So I can still see a little bit of my acne, but it's helping out with the texture right now. So I'm going to go back in with another layer. Shake it up. And remember, it's 80% water. It's super thin. So going in with 2 or 3 layers isn't going to be cake faced because it's so thin. It feels like air. Alright, and I'm just going to focus this right on my cheeks. Alrighty. And then I'm just going to press it in. I don't like to put too much product under my eyes, only because I know I'm going to go in with a concealer for this particular look. Sometimes I don't do concealer under my eyes. But today I want to because I did more of a glam look and I used a little bit of darker color, so I do want that brightness to be under my eye. So I'm not going to really focus too much foundation underneath there because under your eye is literally the thinnest part of skin on your face. So if you put too much product underneath, it will crease. So less is more, definitely, for under your eyes. Alright, so that's what the second layer looks like. You can start to see it's like really smooth now. Then after that, I'm going to go in with my Hourglass Vanish stick. I love this stick because it gives amazing coverage. It's 12-hour wear, great for all skin types. You can use it as a concealer or a foundation. So I'm actually going to use it as a concealer. So I'm just going to dab on my cheeks, the stick, anywhere that I want more coverage. And that's it. Alright. So I basically did like little dots everywhere on my face and I wanted to blend it out. So now I'm going to go in with my Morphe M439 brush and I'm just going to stipple this right onto my skin. And with the water blend being underneath this stick foundation, it's literally going to melt into my skin like butter. I'm in the color beige for the Hourglass stick, and for the water blend, I'm in the shade Y405. That looks good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with concealer. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Concealer in M25 Warm. This is a full coverage concealer. It is a little bit more on the creamier thick side, so a little bit goes a long way. And with concealer, I just put it right under my eyes, just like this. That's enough right there. Probably a little too much, but you know, that's okay. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with my Sephora 57 Pro brush, and I'm just going to tap that right into my skin. And the reason why I am tapping the concealer rather than just blending it right through, or sweeping it I should say, is because I want my brightness to be concentrated right in the inner corner of my eye. When you sweep, you're not going to get the coverage. You're just going to stretch out the skin and make it sheer. But since I'm wanting most of my brightness right under my eye and I'm wanting it to be really concentrated, then I'm going to just tap. And this is one of the techniques I like to do to blend out my concealer. And then I'll extend it out. So for people that do that triangle underneath their face, that's great, but if you're using a full coverage concealer, then that is not gonna, that's too much. There's just way too much. Okay, so once that gives the brightness that I love, then I'm going to go in with a tiny amount of Laura Mercier translucent powder. I know this is everyone's favorite powder. It's been trending like crazy. So I'm going to go in with just a really fluffy angle brush, something like this. And just a little bit of product. I'm trying to tap out the excess. And I'm going to just look up. So I'm stretching the skin and I'm setting it in between any lines so it doesn't crease. I don't like to bake because I feel like that's just way too much product that you're wasting. And it makes the under eyes really dry. So apart from the under eyes being the thinnest layer of skin on your face, it's also the only part that doesn't produce moisture at all. So that's why it's really important to use an eye cream morning and night to give it moisture, because when you don't, what happens is fine lines and wrinkles. So to avoid that, using an eye cream is key. So if you put too much powder underneath, powder is a drying product, so that's going to dry the surface out more. If the surface doesn't have any moisture to begin with, or you're not adding it with an eye cream, then it's going to look really dry and dehydrated, and it's not going to look flattering or in pictures. Alright, and it's going to make you look aged too, which is not what you want your makeup to look like. If anything, you want to apply makeup to make you look younger, you know, not older. And I'm going to apply my Laura Mercier pressed powder. And this is in the shade number 1. I think Sephora still sells this online. I know in store it doesn't, it's not there anymore, but you can probably find it online. Alright, and I'm going to press this right underneath my eye. This is going to help brighten up a little bit more. I like using the loose powder first to help really go in to the creases and set, and then I like to use this just to add a little bit of brightness. And then I do it right in the, well, right on the chin, center of the forehead, and a little bit down the nose. So I use this product to highlight my face. So now I'm going to go in with a Morphe E44 brush, and I'm going to go in with my favorite L'Oreal Infallible matte powder. I'm in the shade 500. 500 is a little dark for me. Just saying it, it just sounds dark. But I'm not happy with my winter color right now. I'm a little too light, so we're just gonna fake it until, you know, I'm darker again. So I'm just going to press this right into the skin. Tip for applying powders: if you don't stipple your foundation, which is the technique that I do, then you definitely want to stipple your powder. And the reason why is when you buff it out, you actually move the foundation that you applied. And if you're wanting your foundation to give you coverage, the last thing you want to do is move that coverage away. So just stippling it right onto the skin, you're basically setting and sealing the foundation. Now I'm going to avoid going into my highlight on my chin, under my eyes, and in the center of my forehead. So I'm just applying this everywhere that I didn't highlight. Always make sure you set right here on your jawline, because that's usually the first place that foundation likes to leave the skin. So just pressing it and then pulling it down to the neck, especially for me, since, you know, this is a lot darker than my skin. It may not look like it on camera, but it is. Y'all can never call me out on a foundation line. I will never have that. And the reason why I love the L'Oreal powder, because I know it's drugstore and I think this is Well, I have a couple other drugstore products, but I don't use a lot of drugstore products. The reason why I love this one is because I use powder like crazy. So I refuse to spend a lot of money on a powder that I'm gonna have to buy every 2 months or so. So with this one, it's 12 bucks and just can't beat it. So after that, I'm gonna go in with my Milani Bronzer. This is another drugstore product I use. This one's in 05 Soleil. This is the Baked Bronzer. So I'm gonna go in with a Sedona Lace FB05 brush. So it's gonna look a little something like this. And I'm just gonna hit this right onto the high points of my forehead to give me a little bit of warmth. I'm not gonna go too crazy because I actually have to work today. So I'm gonna keep it a little light. And I'm gonna go right onto my cheekbone on the side. So I'm not going under, I'm going right on top of it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this is bronzer, this is not contour. So that's why this is our transition color. So our color that's going to help blend our contour. Or add a nice grading effect to our contour, I should say. And a little bit goes a long way when you're contouring or bronzing. You don't want to put too much on the brush and then you're blending out too much on your face, because then it's going to look unnatural really fast. Not like this is something that's natural anyway, but you just don't want it to look too much. And of course, my eyes are the focus for this look, so I don't want my complexion to be in competition with that. Alright, so contour's going right underneath the bronzer. So it's going to help blend easier, and it's just going from the back of my ear to where the arch of my eyebrow. It's just going to focus right in that area. And we're going to pick it up so it blends right into the bronzer. After that, I'm going to go back in with my bronzer brush, and I'm just going to lightly blend those two, not so much together, but to make sure that they have a grading effect one to the other. I don't want any harsh lines. Alright, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever 108 straight brush. It's going to look like this. So I'm going to use that into my, well, I'm going to dip it into my Mercier powder. And just lightly pat the side. That's it. I'm not going heavy in it at all, because on my skin tone, since I am lighter, but I'm not too light. I'm still in the medium range of skin tone. If I do an excess amount of powder on the side, it's gonna look white when I dust it off. So that's why I don't want to use too much. And right where my earlobe is, that's where I'm cleaning it up. Making sure they're even, because the last thing you want is uneven contour. And then I'm just going to blend it right into my skin. So I use the tiniest amount of powder to clean that up. Hope some of y'all are mind blown right now by that, because I mean, I just saved y'all some powder from doing that. Boom. And then let's say if I use too much and it's looking too light on me, then I'm just gonna go back in with my powder brush that I use, the L'Oreal powder, and I'm just gonna press right on top just to get my skin color back. Just like so. Alright, so for highlight, I'm gonna use my Anastasia. This is the Glow Kit SunDipped. So I'm gonna use the shade Summer. I love this shade. I actually haven't even played with some of the other ones yet, but I'm not going to try that today because I don't have time. So I'm going to use my Makeup Forever fan brush. This is a 134. I know this is a different size than what usually other people use for their highlight, but you know, it works for me. So I'm going to use Summer right onto the high cheekbone. So right there. Ooh, do y'all see that? Yes! Oh my god, I live for highlight. And then tip of the nose, just, you know, just a little. Cupid's bow. Alright, the next highlighter I'm going to use is the Makeup Forever. This is the Pro Light Fusion in 02. So the Anastasia highlighter was just a base for this one, because this one is like, hello. Oh my gosh, you don't see that? Oh yes. I like applying my highlighter before my blush, because then I can fit my blush right in my apples and my cheeks like perfectly. Alright, so now after that is done, I'm going to go in with my, oh, I think this was a Morphe brush, but I'm not for sure. Oh wait, hold on. A Morphe M403. That is like almost gone, but this is what it looks like. Mine's pretty old, so if you see it on the Morphe website, it probably doesn't look like this. It probably looks a lot better. So right on the apple. So the blush is going to be in between the highlight and contour. More towards the center of the face that I'm applying it. You can definitely do the back of the face if you want. Just depends on what type of look you're going for your blush, because there's different ways to apply it. But for this look, I want it to be more on the apples of my cheeks, and you always want your blush to be 2 fingers away from your mouth. So that's exactly where you want it to start. So if you see, boom, that's where it's starting. I'm just going to go in with setting spray. This one is the Spritz Toofaced Matte Setting Spray. It does the job. I think there's better out there, but this is the only one I have right now. So I'm just going to spray my face to set all this goodness. Yes. Alright, so now I'm just going to pop on my lip, and then I'm going to let you guys see what the finished look is. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I just added MAC Strip Down Lip Liner all over my lips and just filled it in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys want to see how I did this eye look, then just give this video a thumbs up. Stay tuned for more looks, and please subscribe.